Welcome to Black Book TV, where we spotlight Houston's best Black-owned businesses.
I just want to see Black businesses do well. That's it.
Yeah.
Because you're basically telling them, like, I'm necessary.
You are.
One thing about God, He will give you the vision.
Welcome to another episode of Black Book TV, where we bring you top-notch, phenomenal Black-owned businesses and business owners. Today, we have a very exceptional guest with us today. She embodies passion, dedication, and excellence in the legal field. Please welcome Kashmire Terry, the managing partner of the Devenere Law Collective. Kashmire, it's an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm well.
That's good.
All is well.
That's good.
What about you?
So, yeah, we doing well. It's our anniversary, celebrating
Ooh,
6 years of
Black
marriage.
Turn
Yeah. So, yeah, we super excited.
Absolutely.
And as you know, me and my wife, we always get into the work.
Well,
right?
happy anniversary.
Appreciate
And you
that.
working on your anniversary.
Hey,
Like,
gotta get it.
Got to.
That's
Okay.
Got
what
to.
entrepreneurship look like.
Exactly.
real. There ain't no day off.
Exactly. So, starting off, just kind of tell us, how did you get into the legal field? Like, what made you decide, you know what, I want to be a lawyer?
Oh, you want the real answer or the political answer?
Let's do the real answer.
You want the real answer?
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna keep
Okay.
it real.
All right. I
Keep
guess
it 100.
I don't really tell people,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll tell y'all.
We got the inside scoop.
Yeah. First and foremost. So the real answer would really be just I saw at a young age the game that was being played. So I grew up in California. Most
Okay.
people think racism isn't in California, but it is. It's systematic and it's really different. So I grew up where they flew the Confederate flag.
Hmm.
There was the KKK. We had to watch out for teachers. We had to watch out for quite a bit of things that you wouldn't think is on the West Coast.
Right.
So seeing the game, just experiencing racism from a different way, right, than just it being in your face,
Mm-hmm.
I realized, and I just saw from hearing my parents and talking about politics and learning government, that the best way to protect those that I love in my community is to also know the game.
Right.
And the game is law. Right?
That
It's
makes
the
sense.
rules, it's the structure, it's how they're systematically affecting communities of color, not just blacks and African Americans, but Hispanics and Asians, all of people with a little melanin in their skin,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Right.
So I fell in love with government. And also, she liked to argue, so I was sent to law school. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Bart.
that's, like,
Got you.
that's what put me on the trajectory, was experiencing that from a young age
Mhm.
and wanting to be able to protect those around me,
Mhm.
right? So it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Got you. Now, I know, like, law encompasses a lot, right?
Mhm.
And then you have lawyers that specialize in certain areas. And you could correct me if I'm wrong,
No, you're right.
if I'm like using wrong terminology or anything like
Uh-huh.
that. But I know you have like criminal, you have business,
Yes.
you have, tons of other stuff that I probably don't even know about.
Family.
Right? Family, all that. So, like, what areas do you specialize in, and what kind of like leads you to specialize in those areas?
Absolutely. So I particularly specialize in business and entertainment law. So on the business side, I work with small business owners, building them. I meet you right where you are,
Mhm.
right? I love the startups.
Got you.
It's fun for me, right? I low-key geek out. So I love to know about the vision, right? And I tell all my clients, write the vision down. So from business, I work with startups to corporations, serving as in-house counsel for many corporations within the Houston area. And then also in entertainment, doing TV, film, music, and radio.
Got you.
And what really drew me to those two specific practice areas, I grew up in LA.
Okay.
And once I moved out the house, I was in LA
Yeah.
all the time, or, going to LA with
Right.
family and things of that nature. So I got hooked on the Hollywood, that's
Got
actually
you.
like my nickname. So entertainment was always just the love. It's fun,
Mhm.
not just the genre, but just the people and the creativity. And so entertainment was always kind of like on the back end.
Got you.
But then I initially started doing criminal law, which was crazy. That's
How
where I
you
got
like
my
that?
whole, huh?
How do you like that?
I liked it, but I think after a while it took its toll.
That's why I was asking. Cause
You see a lot. You
Yeah.
see a lot. You see people that look like us, primarily filling the benches in the morning, when you're in court doing docket. And for me, I was like, there has to be a better way.
Got you.
You can't tell me we're the only people committing
Probably,
crimes,
yeah.
right?
Right.
And I
So
was
we
starting
just the only people getting caught.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the unfair.
Do you
Yeah.
ever see yourself as like being a prosecutor, or this like
No,
not for you?
not at all.
Got
Not my thing. I clerked for the public defender's office in college.
Mhm.
So, defense was always
Gotcha.
my side. That's what I drew to. So I started in criminal, and I realized, okay, what can I do to give people a reason not to be here?
Gotcha.
And that's where business started to come in.
I got a question.
Okay.
I was about to ask a question too. I feel like you about to ask. I know you got it.
This is just a personal question. Do you have any favorite lawyer shows?
No,
What?
not at all.
None of them?
Absolutely not.
Because it's not real?
Well,
It's some really good shows out there,
I
though.
do it on a daily basis. The last thing I want to do is
Okay.
look at law. Like,
No, because
nope.
I feel like doctors are not like that, though.
I'm a weirdo. Like, I don't want anything
Okay.
to do with law. When I close my day, I'm done. I'm back to being a
That's
human.
real.
I'm back to being a woman.
Okay.
So I don't want to look at anything law. But, when I was in law school, How to Get Away with Murder was coming up.
Okay.
And so, that was a big thing.
Okay.
Like, oh, it's 1 year like this. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not real. They don't have that much time on their hands.
Sugar got me stuck on Suits, and then I
Baby, I be on
just
Suits.
started
I be
watching
on-
Your Honor. So
You're honest.
I think
Now-
you finished it, right?
Yeah, I finished
just
Your
started.
Honor. I watched
I heard
another
about
one
it.
with All Rise.
I hear about all those shows.
Yes.
And you
Oh,
just
No.
separate just
I separate them.
Lincoln Lawyer. Ugh.
Give me.
because you in the real nitty
I'm in
gritty.
the real thick of
So
it.
it's real life.
So I
And then I
Yeah.
watched Law and Order from the beginning one day.
absolutely not.
When I was pregnant, I was like, well, can't do nothing. I watched the whole thing.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Give me Disney. Give me like some fun movies. I like fantasy. Turn my brain off.
Oh,
I
I
don't
got
want to
you.
have to
I got
go
you.
through like the rule of law and just
Right,
issues and looking
that
at the
makes-
code. Like, nope.
That
I'm
makes
good.
sense.
Give me something fake.
That makes sense.
I have to do that on a Monday morning.
What
Nope.
was your question?
I forgot it.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to make
it's
you.
cool.
Oh,
I just was interested because I love watching lawyer shows. So,
I got you.
Yeah, I want something completely opposite.
I get it. I like
So-
watching lawyer shows and doctor shows.
So for me, right, I have a special I'm not gonna say connection or anything like that, but so in my youthfulness,
Okay.
I had a criminal case, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I kind of talk about it on other podcasts and stuff like that. I was on probation for 5 years, right?
That's a long
From
time.
12 to 17.
That's a long
right?
time.
And the situation was I got into a fight with one of my classmates. This was during the summertime. We were outside playing basketball anyways. We got into a fight.
Mhm.
And I was told and I'm not asking you any law questions or anything like that, but I was just told because the fight took place on his property, when I got the weapon from him and I hit him with it, I was no longer defending myself, right? So in Texas, it's a stand your ground state.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have great legal representation. I had a court-appointed lawyer.
Mhm.
My dad was in Iraq at the time. And I feel like I got messed over. And I bring that up because I think it's very important to have legal representation,
Absolutely.
no matter if you're a small business or just an individual, period, right?
Absolutely.
So can you kind of speak on the importance of having great legal representation and kind of the benefit of having legal representation early on versus not having it at all or being stuck with a court-appointed lawyer?
It was fundamental. A good lawyer can change your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like as you experienced,
Right, for sure.
it can really change your life.
The
So,
dream team.
yeah, and unfortunately, law has been misconstrued with people of color. Like we run from it, but
Right.
really, we need to lean into it. That's how you set up wealth. That's how you protect your family.
Mhm.
Right? I don't expect a regular person to know how to play the game in court or to know the codes or how to write in a legal manner. It's a
Mhm.
whole different world, just like the medical world is a
Gotcha.
whole different space, right?
Mhm.
So I would say that in your case, yes, a good lawyer trying to get you on maybe a diversion program or get you into something that didn't require a long type of probation. And
Right.
please don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying all court-appointed attorneys are bad. Like, they're not. There's some really good ones.
Right.
Really good ones that's ready to fight, because a lot of times, specifically for Harris County, the court-appointed attorneys actually have their own practice.
Gotcha.
They're just doing it because they have a heart for it,
Right.
right? To be able to help those who really can't
Afford
afford regular type of counsel.
Mm.
But you do also have some that are just here for the check.
Right.
They don't care about the person.
And I
So-
wouldn't say mine was here for the check. I felt like he was just so busy with other cases. He didn't have the time to really
pour into, right?
to what
And
it
you
was.
do want an attorney that looks not necessarily on the outside like you, but
Yeah.
understands you.
Yeah.
That meets you in somewhere.
He
in
didn't
those
look nothing like
intersections.
me. He was an older white guy. And
But that doesn't
He
mean
was just
he can't
like-
connect with you.
right, for sure. But I feel like he wasn't, engulfed in the culture
Yeah.
at all.
Or he may not understand
Yeah.
that slippery slope that you were as a young male
Mhm.
adolescent that's black,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't say you have to have someone skin color wise look like you, but I think in intersectionalities of what you're dealing with, your struggles, you
Yeah,
want
for
to
sure.
get an attorney that can connect and understand where you are.
Yeah.
Right. And having a good representation who's going to fight for you, who's not just going to plead you out, because a lot of people just want you to plead.
Yeah.
And to me, if
And that's
you didn't
exactly
do
what it was. He was like, hey,
yeah,
just
because
take
it's
this plea
easy.
deal.
He's still
Yeah.
getting paid
He was
regardless.
like, we're
right?
not going to trial.
If you didn't do it, don't plead.
Yeah.
Stay on what. If you did it, then cool. But if not,
Yeah. Well,
don't just say yes. Don't claim
Right.
something you didn't do. Right? It's just 10 toes down. But in my opinion, yeah, representation can really change. You want to know your attorney before you need them.
mhm.
Right? If it's for your business, don't wait till something pops off and then be like, oh, I need an attorney.
Right.
Right? What was or may be
Yeah.
a $2,000 matter
Yeah.
now, because you waited and you tried to do it yourself, you really made it worse.
Yeah.
Now it's an $8,000, $9,000 matter when we could have nipped this thing in the bud.
And I'm glad you transitioned to that, because that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes as business owners and entrepreneurs, when we're starting off, whether we're in that first month or we're in that year 3 or 4,
Yeah,
a lot of businesses don't have their foundation together.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be transparent. We were one of those businesses, right? And we had to just really say, hey, Sheikah, look, we've been doing this on our own. We've been struggling. You know what I mean? On the outside, it looks glamorous, right? But we were very vulnerable, you know what I mean, from a legal representation standpoint. And we was just like, hey, look, we got to get some legal counsel. But I know a lot of business owners are intimidated, right?
yes.
Or they feel like they can't afford it. But after talking to you, you be like, wait, this is actually, pretty affordable, right? Like, can you kind of talk about the importance of businesses, specifically businesses, right? Of obtaining the proper structure to structure their business properly and what that looks like. Because I know it looks different for each business.
It does, but it's like a house,
Mhm.
right? If your house is built on a bad foundation, yeah, it's going to stand for so long.
Yeah.
Until something comes, like you huffing a puff,
Yeah.
and it blows
Yeah.
it all down,
Yeah.
like
No,
to
no.
take it back to where everybody understands, right?
Right.
Like
Mhm.
Right.
it's gonna crumble. So yeah, you may be doing well, and it looks like it's good,
Mhm.
but I understand people don't know what they don't know, but that's no longer an excuse. As a business owner, if you don't know it, you need to go get someone on your team who can help you fill that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having an attorney allows you, even if you can't necessarily afford everything,
Right.
get an idea of what
Yep.
that price looks like, slowly chip away at it,
Mhm.
or maybe get a payment plan, or
Exactly.
maybe if you get a business loan, you've already kind of built in that cost, so you know, okay, part of my loan is going to go there, because you need some guidance. I don't
Mhm.
care if you have to sit down with an attorney maybe once a quarter and just do a consult to say, hey, okay, this is what I've gotten, this is what I've done, just look at this, because you need guidance.
Exactly.
And, you can say you didn't know, I get it, but it could be detrimental to your business.
Mhm.
And as you can Google as much as you want.
you
You can Google
I mean, you
as
gotta
much as you want.
stay off of
be
Google.
lying.
Stay off
and
of Google.
stay off of
Google be
legal Zoom.
lying.
It ain't your friend.
Man, listen, it's so much stuff out there on the internet
It is.
that can really deter you away from where you're actually trying to go. Make sure that you get that legal counsel. Make sure that you talk to a lawyer. My preferred person that I recommend is sitting right here, right?
Oh.
And I'm not just saying that. I'm being for real, right?
Yeah.
Because since we met through, you know, a mutual business owner, somebody that's on our platform, and they were like, "Hey, man, you need to talk to my lawyer," right? And it was like, I'm speaking from experience this whole time I've been here. I was like, man, this is kind of intimidating, you know, to talk to a lawyer. So we had a lawyer at first who did our trademark, and she did a phenomenal job. She was a phenomenal lawyer. She had her own practice.
Her. Shout
and then
out to Jordan.
she went to I forget the name of the law firm.
She went to KSLM
or something like that. But now she's at
Harley Davidson.
Right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
in-house counsel.
Yeah.
That's her goal. She actually want to get into fashion. She want to be in Paris somewhere.
And that's the thing about law. Like, there's so many
Right.
different practice areas. For every facet of life, there's a facet of law.
Right.
So
exactly.
you never really get bored.
So it was very inspiring to have a lawyer, and then to lose her, I was just like, man. So we went months without, you know, having legal representation, and then
and we're doing big things, so it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know, apps being developed.
Right.
We reading contracts, don't know what it say,
and that's
then
why
they
you
talking
need
about we
someone.
owe
Exactly.
more money. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know what the contract really says, because it's like verbiage that nobody knows, and we're not in tech.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was cool, like having Jordan, you know what I mean, on that trademark,
But that
on
was
that
for
trademark
something
side.
Specific.
Specific.
That was a specific
That's it.
trademark.
So
Okay.
then we come to the Devenere Law Collective, and I'm like, damn, you do all of this?
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean?
We gotta get our business back in good standing.
Right.
That's
all
some
kind
people
of
don't even
stuff.
know. Yeah.
So now I you know, we get on the phone with you, we talk to you, and it's just so inspiring to have somebody, one, who looks like us, two, who talks like us, right? And when I mean talk like us, it's like you break everything down so simple to where it's like
we can all understand.
we can all understand it, you know? And I think that's like so cool to have. But I want to give you your flowers and give you as much exposure as possible, because I feel like there's so many business owners out here who could utilize your services. So I'm going to do a quick plug. Make sure you check out the Devenere Law Collective to get your business affairs in order, even if it's just booking a consultation so that she can go over, you know, everything that you have and just see where you at, see if you're in good standing or whatever, and just see, maybe identify some weak points that, you know, you can be stronger in your business.
And although, you know, we all are business owners, our audience is to business owners, we do deal with everyday life. And the Devenere Law Collective does also deal with everyday life.
We do.
You know,
We do.
what are the other areas that you
So it's
cover?
a full service law firm. So I have attorneys that deal with personal injury, family, criminal, estate planning, trusts, probate when somebody passes, you know. So like, I've built the firm really to address wealth. I want to build wealth in people and protect that wealth. So wealth isn't just money. Wealth is the health, the livelihood, the relationships, right? And so that's what we really focus on in protecting the family structure, protecting that generational wealth for just all people, right? And that's why I've chosen the specific practice areas. Because in some way or another, that's what it relates to, right? And we're still trying to figure out, how do we take the fear out of interacting with attorneys? It's something that I'm constantly trying to like adjust and letting you know, like, I'm a person too.
Right.
Like, I'm approachable. I understand, because at the same time, as a law firm, people forget, like, yeah, I'm an attorney, but I'm a business.
Right.
So I understand exactly what business owners and my clients are going through, because I'm a business myself.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So making it, or encouraging people of, hey, just have a conversation. It's not, especially when you get someone, whether it's my office or not, right? If you have that connection, you have that understanding, or that just that trust, if you've built that before the business starts, then it works. Right? It's really about relationship, because
it's definitely about relationship.
Yeah, your attorney needs to know, as I tell, I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly, the confusing.
I really think that's where the scary part comes in. It's like, you gotta basically just expose yourself, you know? And it's like, you might not necessarily know them like that, or some people not as open. So it's just like, girl, I gotta come in here, I gotta show you my financials, show you my credit badge, show you that we ain't been doing what we supposed to do, show you all this stuff, and it's just like, girl, nobody want to do that.
I get it. It's not comfortable. It's not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, in my opinion, right, like, at least you need to, your attorney is on your side regardless.
Right.
Right? Even if you might not like what they're telling you, they're putting the options in front of you, and they're there to protect you at the end of the day. Right? So just know it's not like they're against you.
I get it. You know, I don't know how you make it less uncomfortable for people coming in, you know, because it's just like, girl, I don't want you in my business. And I know I'm good at that. I'm like,
Yeah, people want to, like, you know, shut down or, you know, but the thing about law is, like, the littlest of facts that you may feel is minor actually will change my whole analysis of what we do or how we handle something, right? So it's really crucial. That's why I say, like, know your attorney before you need them. So come to the events. That's why my law firm, we do a lot of events. We teach. I do networking. I really just want you to know my staff. I really just want you to know the attorneys, put a face to the name, you know, like church, touch and agree.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you 100%.
Know us and interact. So then when something does happen, you're comfortable being able to be that level of vulnerability.
Got you.
So you had I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh.
So I was at an event. I was at a party, and I came across another lawyer.
Okay.
Right. And me and him, we play basketball together, all this kind of stuff. He's a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
And I say, man, you know my lawyer? Because I don't know why, I just feel like everybody who went to Thurgood Marshall School of Law know each other. And it's like, what's their name? I say, Kashmire Terry, right? And he was like, yeah.
Who is this?
He says, that's my mentor.
I mentor a lot of people.
That's what I was about to ask you. So you out here mentoring folks, and I'm like, okay, cool. So kind of talk about, you know, how you're mentoring lawyers. You getting a name for yourself out here in these Houston streets.
Yeah.
You have some big major clients. I'm not gonna name them because I know some the clients be trying to stay on. But you do have some major clients, some heavy hitters. Managing those clients, still being able to mentor not even students, but other lawyers. Like, this dude has his own practice as well. Like, how do you manage all of that and then still make time for your clients and then make time for yourself as well?
And your judge.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say that. I didn't know you wanted.
You can say it. I mean,
and you're a judge.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
you know, she is also a Delta. You know.
We do it.
Yeah. We don't make excuses
at all.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Let her answer. I was just trying,
bring it home. At the end of the day,
2 aces over here, and I'm gonna tell. But go ahead.
How do I do it? With a lot of grace. Like, people around me in my inner circle, they extend a lot of grace, a lot of support. It's not by myself, right?
Got you.
So, like everything goes on a calendar. If it's not on a calendar, it don't exist. So organization and really just having to be honest sometimes, because mentoring requires you to pour in.
Right.
So I have to be cognizant of where I am personally to say, hold on, I need a day. Let me shut down because I got to re-up on my energy to be able to pour. And I've been really blessed with just a group of friends and family to double check on me or to make sure, like, hey, did you get this done? Did you do this? Or, you know, so I think that has really assisted in the work that I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Right? But to be real, like, it's not always perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, sometimes I'm not, you know, it might sound bad, but, like, I'm not the best of daughters sometimes. Sometimes I'm not talking to my mom every day. She might get a call once a week, you know, or she's calling me. Or,
oh, my goodness.
Compared to me, that's good.
Like,
yeah.
You know, or sometimes, you know, I'm not always able to be at the friend's birthday.
Nah, yeah.
Because I'm at work.
Man,
or I'm on the bench.
What?
Yeah.
luckily, you know, sometimes we have people in our lives that actually just get it, you know. So
Yeah, and it's a blessing,
Yeah.
you know. And I just tell myself, like, the one thing I cannot be 100% or, you know, and be deficient in is being on the bench and being an attorney.
Mhm.
I can't slip in those two things.
Yeah.
Everything else, you may not get all of me. You
Right.
may
No,
not.
that's real.
You may get
That's
me
real.
at, you know, worn out, and I'm at 25%. You
Yeah.
know, but those two things I have to stay at 100 at.
Yeah.
But everything else, we just grace and
Uh-huh.
people, you know, pouring and loving, and being able to do that in return.
That's real. You got a question?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, go ahead.
okay.
Go
Speaking
ahead.
of wealth,
Uh-huh.
you were at the Make Me a Mommy conference.
I was.
And you spoke on trust funds, and you know, I was putting out fire, so I didn't get to hear any of it, and I'm very interested to learn about trust. I don't have nothing to put in there right now, but eventually
It's okay.
I do want to pass something down to my kids because I didn't get anything passed down, not so much as a ring, a necklace, nothing. So I want to change that. That's my goal. That's one
It's still not too
generational
late.
curse that I need. I want to be able to pass our
Wait,
kids.
time out. Time
Right?
out,
Like,
time
she
out.
just.
How do you know you ain't getting nothing passed down?
I didn't get it.
Well,
I should have had it already.
No.
it doesn't work
It's
that
not-
way.
Yes, my mama should have passed me something down already.
She's still
She's
with
still
us.
alive.
So there's
well, my
Your parents are
grandma.
still
No,
alive.
something. I
There's
ain't
still time.
You try-
You know what? No,
She
but
just
this,
put them all out.
wait, y'all. Because in my mind, the way that I want it to be is that when my kids
Oh, you want it
graduate,
when they still
I
live.
want
got
them.
you.
I want them to have a house
I got you.
already.
I get it.
I want, you know what I'm sorry. I guess I just wanted something different. And so, like, I want to be able to pass them down, you know, the 529 accounts and
Yeah.
different things like that. I want to set them up so when they're getting ready to go to college, when they come home from college or whatever it is they decided to do, it's not them out here trying to figure out how they're going to buy a house in this market.
Absolutely.
We already have one. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? I want to be able to give them property deeds and stuff like that.
But
So that's kind of why I was saying.
But
like,
I do
and
want to give
people-
I do want to give a shout out to our parents
Yes,
and
they are
in-laws
amazing.
because they are phenomenal. They
Yeah.
do a phenomenal job of like just
They
making
the best
sure that
grandparents in the world. They
that
take
them
care of the
grandkids are
kids.
good and
Oh my
that
God.
we're good so that we could be
Yeah.
able to take care of the grandkids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So although they may not have, you know,
Been able
to, you know,
To
do
pass
things in the
down.
nature that we probably wanted it or would have liked it, you know, they still do a phenomenal job
And
of
it's still
like,
not too late.
of like pouring in.
Yeah,
Right.
and like, but I'm
So-
saying, like, you know, some families pass down rings,
Gotta say
and
that.
heirlooms and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I
'Cause
was
I'm-
just saying, I want to be able to pass down some things because it would, you know, just like my parents wanted to go to college, I'm sure, and they couldn't.
Mhm.
I was able to go to college, so they
Mhm.
made sure
They
I did go to college.
sacrificed for
So
you.
now my
Yeah.
sacrifice, I want to be able to pass down something.
You
And
can.
so
Wholeheartedly.
I want to know about them trusts.
Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't-
because she missed the session, you gotta give the whole
No,
30
no,
minutes.
no. I just want to know what is the first step to setting up a trust,
Okay.
and what can we put in there?
First step is actually reaching out to an attorney.
Okay,
First
well,
and
we
foremost.
already
I'm
on
saying,
the right
let's-
track.
It
Let's
is.
start there. Then
Okay.
we go over your assets. What do you have? Because a trust isn't just something for right now. It's something that we can use also in the future,
Mhm.
right? So many people, we get it misconstrued that we got to have a lot of money. We got to be millionaires before you put it in trust. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
We can start right where you are, start
Gotcha.
putting, money in an account, a trust account, and build it up, and it belongs to the trust. So when that time comes, then you're able to pass that down, right? So you want to use an array of tools. Okay, so and if you in just thinking about passing something down to your little ones, you're going to want to do, life insurance policies, putting a life insurance policy in the name of the trust. So then if something happens, that money goes into the trust.
So we got life insurance policies right now. What do we need to do to get it into the trust? Because they're not. I mean, we
Yes.
don't have a trust.
So you have to fund the trust. It's what we call, you have to fund a trust. So otherwise, a trust is just a piece of paper,
Okay.
right? So you have to put title in the name of the trust. So your life insurance policy, the
The
beneficiary,
beneficiary has
should
to
be the trust.
Gotcha.
right? You could put your bank accounts, maybe not your primary bank account,
Yeah.
but you can create a special bank account
Mhm.
and put it in the name of the trust. So all funds
Go
will be
into
the ownership of the
of the
trust.
trust.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So it's a simple switch, though. I just call it. People be like, "Hey, I want to."
Well,
change
you
it.
actually have to form the trust document.
No, I got that part.
No,
We
you
done
missing it. You got to talk to a lawyer first.
I'm talking to her.
Yeah,
So we funded the trust.
Yes.
We just changed the name on.
A little bit more to it, but I'm
Okay.
keeping it. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Okay.
Right? There's more steps.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So, like your title to your house, if you want, you can put it in a actual trust. So the trust owns it, right? So you're going to want to use trust.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for when you're still alive, right? And it passes outside of probate. Then you can also use a will. Using a will is how we pass down generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And so many times people think a will is about death. Like, no, how do you think you hear about the other individuals having college paid for because of their great granddaddy? Like, it's because they're using an array of tools. Will, trust, power of attorney. They're using the estate planning tools. Mm-hmm. They're using life insurance policies. They're using investment portfolios and passing down wealth outside of probate, which is so key, right? And that's how they're stacking one on the other, right?
Gotcha.
So a lot of times we're always saying, well, get it by your bootstraps. That is, no. Why would you go back to the starting line?
Right.
Yeah.
No, you got us to, the second block. Well, now it's my turn to take the baton and take us 5 more blocks.
And that's why I want to make sure that we're doing that for our kids. Because, I know our parents did the best that they could for us. And now we got to.
And they had a whole different set of obstacles in front of them.
And so now we got to take it a step further. But with the trust, though, do I need one for each child?
No, you could do a family trust.
Okay.
And you have revocable trusts and you have irrevocable. Just depends on what you're looking to get done, right? And you can have multiple trusts if you want. So you can do a full family trust that's revocable, and you are able to take and pull things out. You can even set your trust to be able to, fund your children at certain points in their life, certain milestones, right? Because just because a child is 18 doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Right. So you may want to wait till they're about 28 to really give them a substantial amount, right? We can even create a trust to where it's taking care of special needs children. So, and that's what people don't even think about that. If you have a special needs child, who's going to take care of the child or that individual when something happens to you, right? So we can do that as well. There's so many types of trust that we're able to use. We can use trust just for school, or we could put a limit, because I know I even have my own trust, right? I'm making my own trust for myself, which is so like, I do this for everybody else. I don't do it for myself. And I'm like, look, if you have certain criminal offenses, honey, you're not taking from this empire.
That's real.
It is what it is. Not saying, all criminal offenses, but for me particularly, I'm going to need you to go to school, trade school, and there's just certain things we're not going to accept for you to benefit from
this trust.
This trust, right? And there's standards. So I have those provisions.
As it should be. So how long does the trust last? Like how is there a time limit on it? Because
we actually put a time limit. We can. It's not perpetual per se. But yes, there are.
Okay. Because your LLC, what you got, 10 years? Something like that. I'm saying, but no. So with your LLCs, don't you have to renew them every so often?
Absolutely. So
that's what I was saying.
Well, your LLC, to be specific, for Texas, your LLC, every year you have to file your public information report, your franchise, all that good stuff, in order to still be in good standing.
Right.
Does that make sense? But technically, your LLC, as long as you're keeping up with your state filings, your federal filings, all that good, it's perpetual until you decide to wind down the LLC and terminate it.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of what I'm asking about first, the trust. Is there a upkeep on it, or is
Absolutely. I would say you want to go update your trust maybe every 2 to 5 years, just like a will. Just because you've done it doesn't mean that it doesn't require update, right?
Right.
Some of your beneficiaries, you may get mad and be like, nope, remove them.
Gotta remove them.
Hey, it is what it is, right? So yes, but there is a upkeep period, or you may want to take assets out or put assets in. You can do that if it's a revocable trust.
And when it's in a trust, it's not taxable?
Tax, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Taxes are different.
Okay, well,
But
that was all I wanted to know.
it changes just depending on the type, what we're doing, what is inside the trust. You could put cars in a trust. You can put, a little bit of everything. Property gets taxed different if it's in a trust, but it just depends on how you want to go about it. But that's why I said it's going to be a bag of tools.
Right.
Gotcha.
And you use the bag of tools differently according to the project in front of you.
Yep.
Now,
And if you don't know your bag of tools, or you trying to find some tools to put in your bag, this is the person to come to. You was about to say something.
Take care of them.
I just had one more question. Now, as far as like estate planning, so somebody does a will, do they have to have a lawyer? Is it mandatory?
So for the state of Texas, you can technically write a will by hand. There are requirements. However, that's going to cause issues once you pass between people. I'm guaranteed, because they got to prove up your handwriting and all of that.
So basically, it's best to just call you.
Wholeheartedly, because a will means once you've died, but you've told the state what you want to do with your assets, right? So yes, it's best that we take it to the court and we probate it, right? If you don't have a will, that means you're dying intestate, okay? And technically, can you write out a will? Yeah, but you don't want to. That's going to cause your family to pay quite a bit of money for something we can nip in the bud.
I asked because, you were talking about people wanting to get lawyers and not being comfortable, but people, especially our people, I think it's just us.
Yeah, we're losing a lot.
They don't want to do estate planning. And I brought it up, and they act like it's not inevitable, and I'm just like,
it's inevitable.
What are we going to do, know?
It's something I have in my own family, right? Like, I literally have my great uncle was like, well, when I'm dead, it's y'all's problem. It's not mine. And I'm willing to do the work for free.
That's crazy.
That's my family. So I'm willing to do it.
Right.
And they won't
I'm saying
sit down.
The mindset of that is like, it's crazy to me.
So many people's mindset.
Many people.
Yeah. Or, I have my grandmother has, I'm just using personally, it's something I'm facing too, has so much property, but she won't put it down. She's saying, well, we'll just leave it up to God. And I'm looking like, no. It's property that's in Monterey, California. You know anything about Monterey, you know what that is.
And then that's crazy because, people going to come in and snatch that up. And it's like, we already have a hard time getting property.
But and it's prime real estate on the beach. Like, it's
on.
That's the mindset we're fighting, because we don't want to either spend the money or try to get on a payment plan to pay for it.
I don't know. We think we're going to live forever.
It's not even that. I think it's a combination of laziness and selfishness.
I don't know though, because like I brought it up to my people, and they was like, why are we talking about it?
It's an innate fear.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's an uncomfortable conversation. And I'll just be transparent. Like, the only time that I really, really, really talk to my parents about estate planning is when somebody dies.
And it's too late.
It's like, all right, so Uncle such and such or Aunt such and such just passed away. Guys, what are we doing? Yeah. What's the plan?
Yeah. Right.
Even check this out. Even when you have we all have aging parents. My dad's 74.
Mine
right?
Turned 70.
Yeah.
About to turn 70 in a couple of weeks.
What happens when they start to lose capacity?
We getting old.
Huh? Yeah, we up there.
Yeah. Like, when your parent is no longer able to make decisions for themselves, who's gonna make it? Because you don't have access to the bank account. I'm almost
certain that. Well, first of all, my mama is younger, so.
Man, I'm still over here thinking about my parents almost 70.
But your parents are. That's why I did bring up this conversation, because it's important, and people don't want to.
You won't have the power to handle your parents' affairs without a power of attorney,
right?
Or take care of them in the hospital without a medical power of attorney to know their history and a HIPAA release, right? So it's something like, we don't want to have these conversations, but it is literally wealth. let's pass down. You did all this work, right? Our
Mhm.
grandparents, especially the baby boomers, they went out there, killed the game, went against obstacles, and literally garnished as much as they could.
Mhm.
Homes, assets, portfolio. So we just all gonna give that to the state?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really? And nobody knows where your stuff is? I'm not for it.
Right.
I'm really about wealth
Yeah.
and passing it down and
Same.
standing on the person in front of me's shoulder and
Mhm.
Yeah.
taking our family that much further.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure our kids sit up. Like I always told him, like we got a house. I was like, I don't care what happened. We never sell this house. This is my baby's house.
And I've told my parents they ain't
Yeah,
selling that.
we ain't
I was like,
never.
"Really?"
We will never ever sell this house. This house
Correct.
is to be passed down. It does not get sold. I
And-
don't care what happens.
And we do that by the bag of tools.
I was just about to say that.
By trust, by will.
Y'all do that.
And maybe I'm just hoping that, if they see you guys doing it, your parents see you doing it,
Mhm.
then, or they may do it for their grandkids. They may not do it for you.
Them grandkids might be the key.
Yeah, the grandkids.
They
the
love them
grandkids. Love the
grandkids.
grandkids.
Baby, they love them grandkids more than they love us, okay? Okay, my daddy be up at 12 o'clock at night making homemade pancakes for the
What?
baby.
What?
For the baby. Yes. He wants some pancakes. I was like,
But you wouldn't do it for me when I was a kid. What you mean? Yeah.
he won't do it for me now. I be asking for pancakes. He be like, going in there, fix you
You
some
be
cereal.
SOL.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe that might be the key, right?
Yeah.
Of attacking, because we all have something in our family that we can relate to of, the cousin, little shiesty cousin came in, took everything. I'm just like, look,
Yeah.
do you want this to happen?
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you say no, then let's get to it,
Right.
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
if they want to prevent that, or they want to do it for their grandkids, you want your daughter to have the heirloom from great-great-grandma or to have your car as her first car. Let's start addressing this now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Lock it all up, and then we've passed down wealth.
All right. Well, I really was able to gather some good gems here, and I appreciate you for dropping them on us. I'm
pleasure.
excited about our trust that we gonna
Yeah.
fund pretty soon.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're
Yeah,
funding
talk
it
to you.
with, but
Just
We
start
gonna-
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
we gonna get
even if
it.
it's $25 a month and you put it in a bank account that's owned by the trust, that compounds. Or if you have, any investments, let's say stocks or IRAs,
Yeah,
whatever,
you know.
you put it in the name of the trust
We gonna get
and
it.
put that
I got it.
We
money.
gonna get it.
I got a
I just
little
want my
something,
babies.
something
I want my
on the way.
babies to be.
Yeah.
I just want them to be.
And-
I want them to have a head start.
For
Wholeheartedly.
sure.
Yeah, I want them to have the head start that a lot of Black people don't get.
Mhm.
So, but it's been real.
It has.
We got to wrap up this lovely conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Where can
Thanks.
people find you
Absolutely.
to come and get their legal services?
Let's get it done. So, as I said, I have a full team. We'd love to help you. The Devenere Law Collective in Houston, Texas, downtown. You can personally find us at www.devenerelaw.com. You can call us at 713-254-1157. And you can also follow us on social media, right? I'm responsive. So you can follow Devenere Law on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also follow me personally because I like to drop gems on, what we're doing in the legal field, probate, estate planning, business, and entertainment. A lot of events that are for free just so you can get education.
Mm.
And you can follow me at The Industry Attorney
Yes.
on IG, Facebook, and my personal website, theindustryattorney.com. So we're accessible. All you got to do is reach out, and we'll take it from there. Just as long as you stay open and you're responsive, we'll guide you through it.
Cool. Well, thank you again, Kashmire Terry, a.k.a. the industry attorney, a.k.a. Hollywood, a.k.a. y'all better go see her so that she can give you these legal gems.
Here we go. DKA. DKA. That's known as.
Oh, wow. Just silly. But yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Black Book TV. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time.
Absolutely.
Black Book TV. Peace.
Bye.